What if I told you that social media isn't just a distraction, it's a weapon, not a loud one, not like a bomb or a gun, but a silent weapon that numbs you, pacifies you, and quietly extinguishes your ability to think. Decades ago, in 1932, Aldous Huxley published a book called Brave New World. It was fiction. But like many dystopian visions, it was also prophecy. While George Orwell warned us about dictators and censorship, Huxley warned us about something far more dangerous, a world where people would come to love their servitude, where we would be drowned in distractions, sedated by comfort, and destroyed by pleasure. And here we are, in 2025, waking up and reaching for a screen, not even realizing we're scrolling our way into extinction. This video isn't just about how social media is addicting, it's about how it is transforming us into a different species, one that is less human. You'll see just how eerily accurate Huxley was in his predictions. How platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube aren't just shortening our attention spans, they're rewiring our brains, muting our curiosity, and reshaping society itself. And worst of all, we're not resisting it, we're loving it. In this video, we'll explore this collapse in 3 parts. The pleasure trap, how Huxley warned us the death of critical thought, we're entertained to death. The silent extinction, how we're losing our humanity. If you're still here, that means your mind hasn't fully decayed yet. Let's begin. Aldous Huxley wasn't afraid of a world full of censorship. He was afraid of a world full of pleasure, unlike Orwell, who envisioned an oppressive regime that banned books and controlled thought. Huxley feared that there would be no need to ban books, because no one would want to read them. Instead of controlling people with fear, governments and corporations could control us with pleasure, and that's exactly what social media has become. A drug in your pocket. When you scroll through Instagram or TikTok, you're not just passing time, you're being trained, like a lab rat pressing a lever for dopamine. Every like, comment, and notification is a tiny hit of pleasure, and it's not accidental. Social media platforms are engineered deliberately to make you addicted. Neuroscientists are hired to optimize your feed so that every flick of your thumb gives you just enough stimulation to keep you hooked, but never satisfied. You're caught in an endless loop. Boredom gives scroll, gives dopamine, gives numbness, gives repeat. Sound familiar? The new Soma in Brave New World, citizens are kept docile by a government-issued drug called Soma. It doesn't cause pain, it doesn't create anger, it just makes people happy enough not to care. Sound familiar again? Social media is our Soma, except we don't need a government to distribute it. We line up for it willingly. Every time we feel uncomfortable, alone, or even just slightly bored, we reach for our phones, not to solve problems, but to forget they exist. It doesn't enslave us through force, it enslaves us through indulgence. And here's the terrifying part. Most of us don't even want to escape. The illusion of connection. Social media promises connection. Followers, likes, DMs, hearts. But Huxley predicted something more tragic than isolation. He predicted a world where we're surrounded by people, but feel nothing. You might have 1,000 followers, but no one truly knows you. You might be scrolling through smiling faces, but feel deeply alone. In Brave New World, intimacy is replaced with casual, empty encounters. Pleasure is everywhere. Meaning is nowhere. That's what social media gives us. Shallow relationships that simulate connection without giving us its real substance. And that lack of real connection, it erodes something deep inside us. Evolution in reverse. What's even more terrifying is that we're evolving into this reality, not biologically, but psychologically. The human brain adapts, and it's adapting to instant gratification. Children now expect entertainment every 15 seconds. Adults can't sit still without reaching for a device. We're losing patience, we're losing focus. We're losing the very things that made us human. Curiosity, boredom, reflection. Those aren't glitches in the human system, they're features. But now we treat silence like a bug that needs to be fixed with noise. And who benefits from this? Not you, not society, but the corporations that sell your attention to the highest bidder. Huxley wasn't wrong, he was early. Huxley wrote Brave New World in 1932. There were no smartphones, no TikTok, no YouTube, but he still saw the danger. He understood that a society addicted to pleasure is easier to control than one that's oppressed by fear. In a world full of distractions, tyranny doesn't need to silence you, it just needs you not to care. And that's the trap we're in now. We're entertained into extinction. We've talked about the pleasure trap, how social media gives us dopamine on demand, like a digital drug. But there's a deeper consequence no one wants to admit. We are losing the ability to think, not just deep thought, any thought. And once that happens, it's over. Because the moment we stop thinking, we stop questioning. And the moment we stop questioning, we become easy to control. Information overload is not knowledge. We live in the most informed generation in history. Yet we're also the most misinformed. Why? Because we confuse access to information with understanding. Huxley predicted this too. He said, "We are in danger of becoming a mass of people who are amused to death. We're flooded with facts, videos, tweets, debates, but nothing sticks. Because we don't have the mental space to process anything. You might watch 10 educational videos today, but if someone asked what they were about tomorrow, you'd barely remember one. This isn't stupidity, it's mental burnout. The brain isn't designed to take in 10,000 micro pieces of content a day. It's designed to go deep, to focus, to reflect. But social media punishes depth. It rewards speed and simplicity. Who wins? The person who explains a complex idea in 15 seconds, even if it's wrong. Who loses? The person who takes time to explain things with nuance. We don't want truth anymore. We want entertainment that feels like truth, and that's terrifying. The collapse of attention in Brave New World. Books are banned not because they're dangerous, but because they're boring. No one wants to read when they can just feel good instead. Sound familiar? Today, the average watch time for a YouTube short is under 20 seconds. TikTok videos are getting shorter. Instagram Reels push fast cuts and loud music. Why? Because attention spans are collapsing. The platforms know it, and they're training us to crave only fast, flashy content. No silence, no stillness, no thinking, and this has real-world consequences. If you can't focus, you can't read. If you can't read, you can't learn. If you can't learn, you can't grow. And if you can't grow, you can be controlled. Because critical thinking is the first line of defense against manipulation, and it's dying. The algorithm kills curiosity. When you used to go to a library, you'd explore, you'd browse shelves, you'd discover things by accident. Your curiosity had room to breathe. Now the algorithm tells you what to see. You don't explore, you scroll. Every like, comment, and pause trains the system to show you more of what you already think. And slowly, the digital walls close in, until your entire feed is an echo chamber, a mirror that reflects your own beliefs back at you. No discomfort, no debate, no discovery, just dopamine. And the worst part, we think we're informed, but we're just being entertained to death. The death of seriousness, think about it. Everything is a joke now. Tragedies are turned into memes. Political debates are cut into 7-second punchlines. World-changing events are background noise to dance videos and trending audio. This isn't just dark humor or coping mechanisms. This is a systemic trivialization of reality. The more we laugh, the less we act. The more we scroll, the less we reflect. And the more we consume, the more we forget how to feel deeply. Huxley feared this exact world. A world where nothing is serious, where everything is entertainment, where the line between meaningful and meaningless is erased. The danger of comfort, we tend to think that evil rises through violence, but more often, it rises through comfort. It tells you, you don't need to worry, everything's fine, just enjoy yourself. And we do, we laugh, we scroll, we numb ourselves. But when the truth finally knocks at our door, we've forgotten how to recognize it. That's what happens when critical thought dies, and it's already happening. But the final stage is even worse. Because after we lose our ability to think, we begin to lose our very humanity. And that's where we're headed next. In Brave New World, Aldous Huxley didn't show a future where people are forced to obey. He imagined something far more chilling. A world where people don't need to be forced, because they've stopped caring altogether. And that is our final warning. Empathy is dying. Once upon a time, we felt things deeply. You watched a war on the news, and it broke your heart. You heard about injustice, and you couldn't sleep at night. But now, you scroll past a genocide. Between a cooking video and a cat meme. It's not your fault. It's what happens when suffering is packaged as content. We see so much pain, and so often that it stops feeling real. Huxley predicted this. He feared that in the future, truth would be drowned in a sea of irrelevant. And it's exactly what we're seeing now. Social media gives us the illusion of caring. We like, we share, we comment, this is so sad, but then we move on. No action, no change, no humanity. We are becoming emotionally numb. Social connection has been replaced with performances. We are the loneliest generation in history. And yet, we are the most connected. But connection isn't the same as intimacy. Once, we had deep conversations, real friends, and messy human relationships. Now, we perform, we curate, we filter, we post pictures with perfect lighting and captions that sound real. But inside, we feel like no one really sees us, because they don't. We've traded real human connection for performative vulnerability. We call it community, but it's just a crowd of lonely people screaming into the void, hoping someone hears them. And all the while, the platforms profit from it. Because when you feel alone, you scroll more. And when you scroll more, you lose more of yourself. We're losing the ability to be bored. And that's killing creativity. Boredom used to be the birthplace of imagination. It's where ideas were born, where self-reflection happened, where children looked out the window and imagined entire worlds. Now, the second we feel bored, we reach for the phone. Silence feels like suffering, stillness feels like death. But here's the truth. Without silence, you can't meet yourself. That means your truest thoughts, your deepest fears, your greatest dreams, they are buried under noise. And slowly you forget who you are. You become a collection of reactions, not a person, a user, exactly as designed. The rise of the machine mind. Social media doesn't just change what we see, it changes how we think. Algorithms reward black and white thinking, anger, outrage, extremes, but real human thought lives in the gray area. It's uncertain, it questions itself, it takes time, and there's no space for that now. Instead, we've become reactive. We don't think to understand, we think to respond, to win, to dunk, to ratio. This is not thought, this is programming, and the scariest part, we don't even realize it's happening. The void at the center of it all is the part that hurts the most. Even after all the scrolling, all the dopamine, all the entertainment, we still feel empty. We don't know why we're unhappy. We just know something feels off. And so, we try to fill the void with more content, more distractions, more noise. But Huxley warned us, the danger is not that we'll be denied information, it's that we'll be so flooded with it, we'll stop caring. And once we stop caring, we stop being human. The final warning: social media is not evil, but it has become a weapon. Not of oppression, but of sedation. It numbs our minds, it erodes our empathy, it steals our time, and it buries us in pleasure, until we are too distracted to notice our own extinction. Aldous Huxley didn't predict a future of tyranny. He predicted a future of passive decay, where humanity doesn't fall with a scream, but with a scroll. And if we don't wake up soon, we may not realize we're extinct until it's too late. If this video made you feel something, don't let that feeling fade. Comment "I refuse to go extinct." Let's see how many of us are still awake. Also, if you want to go deeper into the psychology of power and control, watch this video next. Why evil people rise to power. Machiavelli knew this. Stay aware, stay human, and I'll see you in the next one.